Good morning, students. Once again, we are back again to discuss our first 2 to 3 weeks subject topic in basic technology for JSS2. Hope you enjoy your holiday, and I hope you take time to check on what we are giving you here to be able to make a good preparation even as to when you resume. This morning, I want to take you, like I said earlier, the first 2 to 3 weeks topic of the basic technology JSS2. We'll be looking at energy conversion. Energy conversion. We have been taught in our basic class before we got to JS2 that we have energy in different forms. Energy in different forms, different level, and at different times. Now, we are going to look at how these different energy are being converted or can be converted from one form to the other. First, we know that we have different forms of energy, talking about chemical energy, mechanical energy, electrical energy, light energy, solar energy, and so on and so forth. We know how this energy has been generated. For example, the light energy is being derived from the sun. The mechanical energy is derived by the activities of the machines, while we can also discuss about more or two forms of energy and how we derive them. But now we want to look at how we convert them from one area to the other. Now, the first example I would like to cite here is conversion of chemical energy to heat energy. Let's say conversion of chemical energy to heat energy. When we talk about conversion of chemical energy to heat energy, now we can cite many examples. But let me start by giving you a simple example. So, chemical to heat energy. A good example is when we cook our food at home. We may decide to use firewood. We may decide to use charcoal. We may decide to use gas, cooking gas. Now, whichever way or whichever forms we decide to prepare our food, we are converting chemical energy to heat energy. We are converting chemical energy to heat energy because when you set your firewood on fire, when the firewood begins to burn, you see the heat coming up. When you set your charcoal on fire, when the charcoal begins to heat up and it becomes red hot, you see that the heat is being released out. So these are good examples of what? Converting chemical energy to heat energy. Now, we must also know that this heat will burn as a result of what? Presence of oxygen. Before then, we must know why one or two substances can burn. They can burn because they are regarded as fuel. Now, when we say they are regarded as fuel, it means that the firewood you are using is serving as what? A fuel. The charcoal or the cooking gas you are using to cook at that time is serving as a fuel. Then, we may now have to define fuel. A fuel is any material that by the time it is raised to its temperature point, it begins to burn without any external support. So I said any material that when you raise to its ignition point, it begins to burn without any external support. It means that if all this material as good as paper can burn and continue to burn without any external support, it means that is qualified to be called a fuel. Now, I just explained how conversion of chemical energy to heat energy. I will take another sample. The sample I'm going to take now is talking about conversion of what? Mechanical energy to heat energy. Conversion of mechanical energy to heat energy. Now, you find out that it's almost impossible to produce two flat, let me say, evenly flat surfaces. For example, you may have two flat surface of a table, for example, but when you look at the surface of that table, it's not actually what? Evenly flat. So when you rub the two surfaces on each other at a particular spot, at some particular spot, they are going to be what? Having contact. Now, that is, for example, your hand, you can rub your hand together. After some time, you find out that the temperature of your hand begin to what? Rise up. That is mechanical to what? Heat energy. Because that action of rubbing is mechanical. Meanwhile, the result is heat that is being generated as a result of rubbing of hand. So, is another example of what? Conversion of mechanical energy to heat energy. Now, another good example is you try to bend a rod or a metal. If you try to bend maybe a strip of metal or rod, at least the one that you can handle, just twist it right, left, front and back. Then feel that spot where the bend is being taken place. You'll find out that the temperature of that particular point will also what? Rises. So that's another good example of what? Conversion of what? Mechanical energy to heat energy. Now another energy sample, we can talk about conversion of electrical energy to heat energy. Conversion of electrical energy to heat energy. A good example is the electrical cooker we use at home, or your pressing iron. You plug it and you switch on the fuse. What happens? The iron will become hot. And in the case of your electrical stove, when you plug it in the electric current, you switch it on, and you see the electrical burner comes heat up. Now, that's an example of what? Conversion of electrical energy to heat energy. And there are diverse ways by which energy can be converted from one form to the other. solar is being converted to what? Light energy. So, like this sample of solar being converted to light energy is very common now. Once you have your solar panel outside on your roof, it can charge up your inverter battery at home. Moreover, you can even use it directly and then you generate your electricity. That's another sample of what? Conversion of solar energy to what? Electric or electrical energy. All this energy goes vice versa. You can convert from mechanical to heat even to mechanical. Like the samples we are having in generating our electrical energy in our dams. You see, some of these electricity currents were being generated as a result of what? The sample of hydroelectric. It is this water that is being directed to flow and drop on the turbine. And as the turbine continues to move, the electricity is being what? Generated and distributed to our various homes. So, electric energy could be converted from one form to the other, or from one form to one another. So, at this point, I can give you an assignment to further do your own research and list at least 4 other ways by which energy can be converted. Now, I gave you 3 on the board, and I think I mentioned you 2 other ones that I did not write on the board. But in your own case, you can do for me as homework, so that by the time we come back in the class, we'll look at it, we'll mark it, and discuss further. So, I'll give you this question. Mention any other 4 energy conversion that's mention any other 4 energy conversions that you know. By the time we come back in the class, we'll be able to write it together. Thank you very much.